Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All black Hispanics and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs no matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
The water for y'all tuning in, man. We appreciate y'all watching. If you like this content, make sure you leave a thumbs up in this video to let us know. And listen, man, while you at it, if you like seeing content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We answering all your questions, like why did God allow blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to go into slavery? Or why are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the #1 people mistreated because of their race? Or even how could God let innocent people die? Well, we answer all that. Questions that your Christian pastor would never answer. And we get it straight out the Bible, man. It's been right in front of our face for thousands of years. We're going to give you the truth, man, because the ISUPK is the home of the truth. So look, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to get notified every time we drop a video. Check this out too. Hit this QR code right here. It's going to get you everything you need to contact the ISUPK near you. All right? Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All black Hispanics and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Imagine what Salaki. Matter of fact, Laya Sha'ala. I imagine upon Yahakudam, me stand and face the east. I'm going to send up the prayers, first in the Hebrew, then in the English. Repeat after me, starting with the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakutka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathanawa, Lachum, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaklanawa, Kawawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawawat Yanawa, Wala'a, Tabaya'anawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, La'aiwa Lumyum, Aman. In the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hakak the power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Babu Kusha, Nathanda Nawa, Hakak, Larapa'a, Kal Makala, Wakal Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, Lahakwayim, Hamathim, Hakak, Arakawath, Hatama'ala, Lagarshan, Ba'ashem Yahushua, the water Aman. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Psalm chapter 121. It's like it, matter of fact. It's like it. Blessings. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushua. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Matazab Ya'ah. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapyum. Ha Saranium. Ha Kwatazayanyum. Ha Kayayoyum. Wa Ha Akwatian. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. The water Aman. Bless you, Yahweh. This is the English, so like it. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushua, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Psalm chapter 121. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al Haharyam, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayim, Wa'arataza, Al Yanathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yashar Allah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamum, Hashamash, La'a Yakalka, Wayarak, Bala Yala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Ra, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar Tazaatka, Waba Wa'aka, Ma'aitha, Wa'id Abalon. In the English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer, he will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasher Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forward, and even forevermore. Psalms chapter 83. Alahayim, Al Damayalaka, Al Thakarash, wa Al Tashakwat, Al Kayahana, Awa Yabyaka, Yahama Yawan, Wa Mashanayaka, Nasha Awa, Ra'ash, Imaka, Al Imaka, Yaira Yamwa, Sawad, Wayata Ya'ai Tazawa, Al Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakiram, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwad, Kaya, Nawa I Tazawa, La, Yakadwa, Auyaka, Maryath, Yakarathwa, Ahol, Adwum, Wayasha, Mawaaba, Wahagarim, Gabal, Wa'ima 1, Wa'ima Lak, Polish, Zerawai, Shalaham, Kayabyan, Banakal, Koyashwan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayan Da'ara, Hayawa, Daman, Kagogala. Iowa, Daman, La'adama, Shayatamwa, Nadiyamawa, Kaira, Wakaza Abba, Wakazabak, Wakatazalmanai, Kal Nasi Yakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Na Yarasha, Lanawa, Ath, Na'awath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapanyaraka, Ka'ash, Daba'ira Ya'ira, Wa Kalahaba, Dalahat, Haryam, Khan, Daradapma, Basa'iraka, Wa Basawapatka, Dabahalam, Mala'a, Punyaham, Kuala 1, Waya Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya Bahawa, Id Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Wayada Aiwa, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahweh, Labadka, Al Yawan, Al Kal Ha'arataza. In the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh, and hold not thy peace, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembered. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes, as the Ba, and as Zamunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burnt the wood, and as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. Yajmatah, hands down. Sar, which means to turn. Yeshabia, which means to be seated. All right, clap it up. All right, this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, ISUPK. Understand? If you have any questions, you can ask them here. You understand? We answer your questions. We don't tell you, hey, you know what I'm saying, don't question God. We don't tell you that you can't ask me no questions, or, you know, that's too much for you to understand. There are no excuses like that. You understand? If you got a question here, you can ask them, and we will do our best to answer them. If I don't have an answer, I have someone I can talk to get the answer. You understand? Because I don't know everything. You understand? I might not recall the exact breakdown for what you're asking for. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not too proud to admit that. So if I don't have the answer that you need, then I can get the answer from somebody. You understand? With that being said, this is the Sabbath service. You understand? We go over these scriptures in the Old Testament, the Tanakh, as it's titled. You understand? And we break down these scriptures, man, removing all the fluff that Christianity has put on there, removing all the whitewashing that Christianity has put on there. You understand? We give it to you straight up raw. You understand? The truth about it. All right. So, you know what I mean? And just to you know, dive a little deeper on it. You understand that prayer that we just read from David, that prayer we just said from David, you know what I'm saying, in the Psalms, talks about doing unto these nations what nations of old, or what these same nations rather have done in the past. Because understand that all the nations that David mentioned in Psalms 83, they are still here today. Many of them. Some may have been moved, wiped from the earth or what have you. But many of those nations, especially the Edomites and the Moabites, you understand, the Ammonites, you got to pay attention to what David was saying. And I encourage you to go and read it. Open up your Bible and go to Psalms 83 and read what David is praying for. Because this is a prayer. He's praying to God to make them like the stubble that burns. You understand? That burns from the fire. And like a tumbleweed. You ever seen them old Western movies where they got the tumbleweed blowing in the wind? Those things are highly flammable because they're dry. So if you take a spark to it, it will engulf in flame. And David is comparing them to that wheat, that tumbleweed. You understand? And saying, asking the Most High, to burn them, to destroy them. All right. So that's what we pray for, man. Just like David prayed for it, because we have gone through oppression, man. What we're about to read in these scriptures is where we came from versus where we are today and how we got here. All right. So we're going to go to the book of Numbers, chapter 3. And we're starting at verse 33. If you have a Tanakh, you can open up to there, to read it in Hebrew. And in the Tanakh, they typically have the Hebrew in next to the English. All right, so on one side, you got the Hebrew, the other side, you got the English. You can read it, and it's parallel to each other. So you got, you can keep up with what you're reading. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty about our language. We have to know what these words mean, because you got all these different versions of the Bible out here, right? You got the NIV, which I like to call the niggas not included version. And they don't have, a lot of those words are missing or misrepresented because they're not taking the Hebrew and translating it. They're taking it, translating it in their mind like, okay, well, this is what it's saying, but I look at it like this. Shalom, Trooper Kutab Ya Allah. What's going on with you? Yahbashim Yashabra Kathug. You understand? So they looking at, they are taking that translation and they're thinking with their mind instead of saying what the actual word is. Whereas in the Tanakh, it's giving you the exact translation of that Hebrew word. You know what I mean? And if you go into the Greek, the New Testament, and you go like to an app called Blue Letter Bible, you can see the Septuagint that translates that Greek. That Greek directly into English. You know what I mean? So that's what we want. We want to know exactly what we're reading, and that's why we read things in the Hebrew, and then we read it in English. In case y'all didn't understand that or didn't know, and y'all didn't know why I was praying in the Hebrew and then praying in English. You know what I mean? You can also go into the book of you can go to the Apocrypha, and I believe the beginning of the Maccabees, where it tells you that Hebrew is stronger than English, paraphrasing. I mean, it'll tell you right there in the intro, when words are spoken in Hebrew, there's more power in it than when it's translated. You understand? So anyway, that being said, we're going to start with the book of Numbers, chapter 3, verse 33. Someone said the NLT, what did he say? The NLT is one of my favorites, especially for Isaiah 60 and Revelations 3 and 9. All right. Hey, look, man, if that's what floats your boat, have at it. Me, however, I rather know what I'm reading. You know what I mean? And the King James Version tells me exactly what it says. It doesn't give me an interpretation. You know what I mean? The Bible says lean not on your own interpretation. So I understand you like the NLT, like the way it's worded. I understand that, you know what I'm saying? But I've actually, seen other Bibles, and I was like, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, I like how it said it here. So I get what you mean. I like how it's said here. You understand? But that's all I go for. It's just like the quotables. That's the only reason why I would even look at another version of the Bible. It's just for the quotables, how it's written there. You feel what I'm saying? But as for educational purposes, I'm sticking to the King James Bible. It's word for word translation instead of thought for thought translations. So I hear you on that. What's your name? Heir to the promise? Yeah, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. You know what I mean? So that's cool. Dashara. Shalom. I'm not sure if you brother or sister, so I'm not gonna address you as either one. You know what I mean? You can let me know in the chat if you want to. But Shalom Dashara. It sounds like that might be a sister's name because you know the ah at the end, the ha. So it might be a sister, but I don't want to be wrong. So just let me know. All right. Namaraya, ma shapakta, ha ma kalya, wa ma shapakta, ha ma washia, alahaya, ham ma shapakta, ma raraya, wa pa wa pak, dayaham, ba masapar, call zakar, mabun, kadash, or ma'ila, Shashath alawapium, or so like alapium, wa ma'athium, wa nasha'aya, wa nasha ya'a, bayath abam lama shapaktha, ma rawaya. Oh yes. All right, no sources. Most on Christ, you know your house Shamar Thumba Shem Yahusha. All right. Funny thing, I just ordered King James Bible. Hey, what's up? You did that. You did that. All right. Definitely a big that's a flex right there. You know what I mean? My bad, back to it. So verse 35. Wanashaya Bayat Abba Lamashipakta Mara Raya Tazawar Ya'ala Bun Abayak Ya'ala Al Yarak Ha Mashakan Yakanwa Tazapana Wa Pakdath Wa I think that's Wa I'm gonna just say Wa Pak Dath. No, don't sound right. Mashamartha Banya Marawaya Horashia Ha Mashakan Wabarak Wabarayak Yawa Wa Aisha Kwaya Wa Adan Yawa Wakal Yawa Wakal Ibadathwa 37 Wa Imadia Ha Katazar Sabayab Wa Adanyaham Wa Ya Ath the Thumb Wa Mayath Yaham verse 38 Wa Ha Kanya so like Wa Ha Kanayam Wa Panya Ha Mashakan Kwarama Lapanya Abal Ahal Mawa'id Mazarak Masha Wa Aharan Wa Banya or it's like Wa Banya Wa Shamarium Mashamartha or Mashamara Ha Makodash Lama Shamartha Banya Yasha'ala Wa Hazar Ha Korab Yaham Yawamath 39 Call Pak Wadaya Call Pakwa Wadaya. Let me read that one more time. Call Pakwawadya. Call Pakwawadya. Hal Wayam, Ashar Pakwan, Masha, Wa Aharan, Al Paya Yahweh Lamashapakta, Kal Zakar Magan, Kadash, Wa Ma'ila, Shanayam, Wa Aisharyam, Alap, verse 40, Wa Amar, Yahweh, Al Masha, Paquad, Kal Bakar, Zakar, Labunya, Yasha'ala, Mabun, Kadash, Wa Ma'ila, Wa Sha'a, Atha, Masapar, Shamatham, verse 41, Wala Kwakta, Atha, Hala, Wala, Ha, La Yam, La Ya, Anya, Yahweh, Taka'ath, Takath, Kal, Bakar, Babunya, Yasha'ala, Wa Atha, Bahamath, Allah, what is that? Ha La Yam, Taka'ath, it's like a Takath, Kal, Bakawar, Bahamath, Bunya, Yasha'ala, Wa Ya Paquad, Masha, Kashar, Tazawa, Yahweh, Athan, Athwa, Atha, Kal, Kawar, Babunya, Yasha'ala. All right, now let's go to the English. The book of Numbers, chapter 3, starting at verse 33. In the English. Of Merari was the family of the Malites and the family of the Cushites. Let me go back and see exactly how you pronounce their names, right? So, of the Merari, Mararia, I think is how you speak. All right. Mararia is the Hebrew word for Merari. Was the family of the Macalia. All right, Macalia, the Malites is how it's transcribed in the Hebrew. So Macalia and the family of the Mashapakta. All right, Mashapakta or the Mashapak would be the Mush family or Mushites, as it would be transliterated, right? So Mashapakta. Okay, these are the families of Mararia, and those that were numbered of them, according to the number of all the males from the month old, so like from a month old and upward, were 6,200. You understand? 6,200. And the chief of the house of the father of the families of Mararia was Zuriel, which is Tazawar. Yeah, Tazawar Ya'ala. Tazawar Ya'ala. All right. The son of Abayak Ya'ala. These shall pitch on the side of the tabernacles northward, and under the custody and charge of the sons of Mararia shall be the boards of the tabernacle, and the bars thereof, and the pillars thereof, and the sockets thereof, and all the vessels thereof, and all that serveth thereto. Verse 37. And the pillars of the court round about, and their sockets, and their pins, and their cords. But those that encamp before the tabernacle toward the east, even before the tabernacle of the congregation, eastward, shall be Moses, or Mashah in the Hebrew, and Aaron, or how you say Aaron? Where am I? Bear with me. Aharon. There we go. I forgot that's Aaron in the Hebrew. Let me put this on something. Yeah, I forgot that's how you say Aaron in the Hebrew. Aharon, right? So Aaron in the Hebrew is Aharon. Okay. Now, and his sons, keeping the charge of the sanctuary for the charge of the children of Israel. And the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death. You understand? Because this was holy, this was sacred. You understand? Now we talking about now all these families that I just mentioned, right? You got the Merari, you understand? You got the you got Aharon, you got Mashah, you got, you know what I'm saying, all these families, and the Malites and the Mushites, these are all Levites, is what you got to understand, right? Where we at right now. This is talking about the priesthood. This is the first priesthood. Now there's a different priesthood. Why? Can anybody tell me what's the priesthood we under right now? You understand? If you could tell me what priesthood we under and what's the precept for it, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'll give you a gold star. I'll give you a gold star if you could tell me what's the priesthood we under today and what's the precept for it. All right, but all of these were Levites. All right, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the priesthood. So this was what they set up. The tabernacle and everything that came along with that was sacred. It was like if you go back to Exodus, when we were reading about how Moses was going up into the mountain, nobody was able to go up to that mountain. You understand? If you went up to that mountain, you would lose your life. You understand? He had guards guarding the mountain, so you couldn't go past that, and you wasn't going up that mountain. You know what I mean? You wasn't going to wherever Moses was talking to the Most High. And because it was sacred, it lets you know about the seriousness of priesthood. You understand? What's going on in these churches today is not sacred. What's going on in these Catholic churches, these mosques, these Jewish synagogues, all that stuff is not sacred, man. It's abominable. It's disgusting. It is a shame. Understand that these so-called churches and synagogues have become the face or representation of God. To the masses, everybody thinks that these churches represent God. They think that that's a man of God sitting up there in the pulpit. They think that's the man of God, you know, in that confession booth. People telling all their deepest, darkest confessions to some man who's probably, you know, having lustful thoughts about everything you tell him. Lord knows what he's doing with your child. But these people have become the face of sacredness, of holiness. And there's nothing holy about them. But what we reading right here is sacred, man. And here's what's sacred, that you will be put to death behind it. Damn right, trooper. The earth is upside down. You will be put to death for even entering this tabernacle. If you even get close to it, you will get put to death. The Ark of the Covenant, you touch it, you getting put to death. You understand? That's holy. That's set apart. That's sacred. Okay? What's going on in there, man, is like the trooper said, upside down. The evil have become righteous, and the righteous have been deemed evil. They call the ISUPK a hate group and a cult. You understand? When we do what the Lord says to do. And it just so happens that in the book of Numbers, chapter 3, it tells you that there's some shit you can, excuse my language, There's some things that you can get unalived for. And the Lord is ordering it. You understand? So, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to glorify putting nobody to death. You understand? I'm not trying to glorify that. I'm just showing you the reality, comparing it to what they teach you. All right, so let's keep reading. Where we at with it? Where we going? All right, so it says once again, verse 38. But those that encamp before the tabernacle toward the east, even before the tabernacle of the congregation eastward, shall be Moses's. It's talking about dividing lands and tabernacles and stuff like that. It's like it. And Aaron and his sons keeping the charge of the sanctuary of the charge of the children of Israel, and the stranger that and the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death. Verse 39. All that were numbered of the Levites were Moses and Aaron, Moses and Aaron numbered at the commandment of the Lord throughout their families. All the males from a month old and upward were 22,000. All right. Verse 40. And the Lord said unto Moses, number all the firstborn of the males of the children of Israel from a month old and upward, and take the number of their names. And thou shalt take the Levites for me. So I am the Lord, instead of the firstborn among the children of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites, instead of all the firstlings among the cattle of the children of Israel. You understand? So first of all, when it says take the number of them, take the number of their names, just saying number them, count them up. You understand what he said? And I'm right. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? He just the Most High is telling Moses and Aaron to count the children, the firstborn of every male. You know what I mean? Every male child, count them. All right. And Moses numbered. Sorry. Take it down. All right. And Moses numbered as the Lord commanded. It's like and Moses numbered as the Lord commanded him all the firstborn among the children. Now let's read more Hebrew. Stop at 42. Pick up on 43 in the Hebrew. By Yahya called by Kawar, Zakar, Ba Masapar, Shemath, Maban, Kadash, Wa Ma'ila, La Pakwadya. It's like a Wa Pakwadya hum. Shanayam, Wa Aishayam, Alap, Shalasha, Wa Shaba'ayam, Wa Ma'athim. Verse 44, Wa Yadabar, Yahweh al Masha, La Amar. Verse 45, Kwaka, Ath, Halawayam. It's like Halayam, Thakath. Just so y'all know, just for educational purposes, the word Halayam means the Levites. So whenever you see those words together, it's Halayam. Halayam. All right, that Laya is how you say Levi. So the Ha in front of it makes it the yum at the end of it makes it plural, right? So it's Halayam. Now, with that being said, y'all make sure y'all tune in to the Hebrew class every Friday. All right, learn that Hebrew. So when when the next day hits and we doing the Sabbath service and you reading that Hebrew, you're not lost. You're not confused. You understand? But that word there is Halayam, which means the Levites. Okay. So the Kath called by Kawar, Baba Yan. Oh, it's a Salakia. Let me make sure I plug the brother that teaches the Hebrew. You understand? Preaching officer 50 Rawam. Like I almost had a brain fart. Preaching officer 50 Rawam. You understand? He teaches the Hebrew and he does a damn good job at it. So y'all make sure that y'all go and watch those classes. All right, so now let's continue. Takath called Bakawar, Babunya, Yashar. It's like a Yashar Allah. That's another one you're gonna see a lot. Yashar Allah. All right. Wa'ath Bahamath Ha Layam Takath Bahamath Bahamathma Wahayawa Laya Halayam Anya Yahweh Wa'ath Pa Dawaya Ya Ha Shalashya. So like Ha Shalash. So like it. Ha Shalasha Wa Ha Shaba'ai. So like it. Wa Ha Shaba'ayim Waha Ma'athium Ha Idapium Al Halayum Wa Bakawar Banya Yasha'ala. Verse 37. Wala Kokath Kama Shath or I think Kamashta Ta Kwayum La Gal Galath Ga Shakwal Ha Kodash the Kwak Aisharyam Garaya Slag Garaha Ha Shakwal. Verse 48. Wa Nathatha Ha Kasap La Aharan Wala Banya. It's like a Wa La Banyawa Pada Wayaya Ha Idapyam Baham. Verse 49. Wayakwak Masha Ath Kasap Ha Padyawa Ma'ath Ha Idapyam Al Padawayaya It's like Halayam Ma'ath Bakawar Banya Yasha'ala Lakwak Ath Hakasap Kamasha Washashim Washalash Ma'awath Wa'alap Ba Shakwal Hakodash Wayatan Masha Ath Kasap Hapadyam La'a Haran. It's like La Haran Wa Lapan Yawa'a Al Paya Yahweh Ka Ashar Tazawa Yahweh Ath Masha. Verse 40, or it's like chapter 4, verse 1. Wayadabar Yahweh Al Masha Wa Al Aharan La Amar. All right, now in the English. Verse 43. And all the firstborn males by the number of names from a month old and upward of those were numbered of them were 22,203 score and 13. What is that? How much is that? What is 3 score? Did anybody answer my question from earlier? Nobody answered my question from earlier. Somebody did answer my question. So this is your answer for my question. Christ, what a precept. What a precept. And I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. Yeah. Give me a precept for that, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. Because what you got to do, especially if you're a brother and you plan on being a priest and officer, you understand? The Bible is your blueprint, right? So if you ever need an answer, somebody asking you a question, or somebody coming to you with something that they believe about the Bible, where can you get the answer from but the Bible? So if you got a precept to prove it, then that cuts them. You know what I'm saying? So okay, Well, you saying that that's what that means. Oh, all right. You got a Bible verse to prove that. Okay, I believe it because the Bible says it. You know what I mean? So you know, precept, like the scriptures say, you know what I'm saying, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. All right, why? Because that's how you understand the Bible. You can't just read something somewhere and think that because it says that. For instance, we just read how Moses numbered the children. And then in another instance, David was punished for numbering his soldiers. So is it unlawful to number people? You understand? Let's get it real quick. Before I finish reading, before I continue, I'm gonna go to the scripture. See what he's saying. All right, it's the book of Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 14. Seeing then that we have a great priest that is passed into the heavens, like it, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold fast our profession. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted, like as we are, yet without sin. Verse 16. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Now hold on 1 second. All right, 1 second. Hold on. So let me ask you another question. Now, the scripture you just read did say that Christ was the highest priest, or let me read it verbatim. It says we have a great high priest, right? Who is Christ a priest under the order of? Like, I'm a priest, right? Captain, let's put it off me. Captain Zaryak is a priest. Now, he's great, right? And of course, not as great as Christ, but he's great as in a lot of people know him. You know what I'm saying? He's battling and defeating many enemies, right? And he's spreading the truth about Christ. Undefeated. He's a great priest. Who is he under? And not to say that he's not under the same order that Christ is under, but who is he under? Commander in Hunter, right? So who are we all under the order of? The trooper said it. Because now give me a precept. Give me a precept. But we all follow Christ. You're absolutely right there. We all follow Christ. He is the great priest, right? And we take orders from him. We do what he says. Absolutely. But there is an order to things. You understand? And that order is under Melchizedek, right? We're under the order of Melchizedek. Or Malak Tazadok in the Hebrew. Okay, so not to say that, you know, and now I don't want to go too far into it, but I think I might save it for another class, or maybe I'll put it simply. No, Malak Tazadak is not a man per se. Let's get it. Psalms 110 is the book of Psalms, chapter 110, verse 4. All right. It says, I'm going to read from 1. It says, verse 1, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. And the Lord shall send the rod of the strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of holiness, from the womb of the morning. Thou hast the dew of thy youth. The Lord hath sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever, after the order of Melchizedek, Malak Tazadak. The order at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the days of his wrath. Verse 6, he shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies. He shall wound the heads over many countries. He shall drink the brook in the way. Therefore shall he lift up the head. You understand? This is talking about Christ, man. Christ is coming after the order of Malak Tazadak. You understand? So that's all. I only said that to, you know what I'm saying, let y'all know what the transition was. It went from the Levites being the priests, right? Just being ordained as the priest, to now there are other priests. Like Christ would have never been able to be a priest if not for the order of Melchizedek. You get what I'm saying? Christ is not a Levite, so how could he be a priest? But what happened was the kingdom split and the Levites fell off. And so now there is no priesthood. There is no priesthood until Malak Tazadak shows up. And now the Most High shifts it from being under the Levites, being the priesthood, to now we are priests under the order of Melchizedek. And that's why Christ becomes the great priest. You understand? The great and holy priest. So, going back to where we started, book of Numbers, chapter 4. No, I'm saying, sorry, chapter 3, verse 43. So all of them were numbered. Of them were 20 and 2,203 scores. Score is 20. So what's 3 score? 3 score is 60. So it's 2,000. I'm sorry, they're 20 and 2,000. That's 22,260. But then you add 13. What's 60 plus 13? 73. The Bible is math. The Bible is science. The Bible is math. You understand? And the Bible is history. This is a whole. This is a whole academia book. The whole academia is written within the Bible, man. You understand? It's history, it's math, and science, all in one book. What more do you need? And language. And language. If you get a Tanakh or something that like shows you the Hebrew compared to the English, and then the Greek compared to the English, you learning languages too. Like, what more do you need? You understand? So we learn the math. 20 plus 2,000 is 22,000. Plus 200 is 22,200. Plus 3 score is 22,260. Plus 13 is 22,273. All right, so that's how many firstborn males from a month old and upward were in this nation. Okay, And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, take the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel, and the cattle of Levites instead of their cattle, and the Levites shall be mine. I am the Lord. Verse 46. And for those that are to be redeemed of the 260 of the firstborn of the children of Israel, which are more than the Levites, thou shalt even take 5 shekels apiece by pole. After the shekel of the sanctuary shalt thou take them. The shekel is 20 gerahs. All right. So where we at? Oh, we got 1 to 1. All right. Verse 48. And thou shalt give the money wherewith the odd number of them is to be redeemed unto Aaron and to his sons and Moses. And Moses took the redemption money of them that were over and above them that were redeemed by the Levites. Verse 50. Of the firstborn of the children of Israel took he the money 1,365 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. And Moses gave the money of them that were redeemed unto Aaron and to his sons, according to the word of the Most High, as the Most High commanded Moses. All right, now we're going to go to chapter 4, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, and we're going to stop right there because I stopped reading at verse 1. So I'm going to read verse 2 to 11 in the Hebrew. Book of Numbers, chapter 4, verse 2. Nasha'ah ath ra'ash banya kwahath matwaka banya la mashapaktham la bayath abatham maban shalashim shana wa'ilha wa'id bun kamashim shanakal ba'a la tazaba'a la aishawath mala'aka ba'ahol ma'wa'id. Verse 4, Za'ath Ibadath Banya Kwahath Ba'ahol Ma'wa'id Kodash Ha Kodashim. Verse 5, Waba'a Aharon Wabanyawa Banasa'ai Ha Ma'kashu Ha Ma'kana Wa Haradwa Ath Parakath Ha Masaka Wa Kaswa Baha Ath Aran Ha'aidath. Verse 6, Wanathan Wanathanwa Alyawa Kasaya Iwar Dakaash Wa Parashwa Bagad Kalyabu. It's like Bagad Kalyala Da Kalath Ma'ilha Wa Shamawa Badyawa. Verse 7, Wa Al Shalakan Ha Panyam Ya Parashwa Bagad Da Kalath Wa Nathanwa Al Yawa Ath Ha Kwairath Wa Ath Ha Kapath Wa Ath Hamanakwa Yath Wa Ath Kwashawath Ha Nasaka Wa Lakam Hathamyad Al Yawa Yahaya. Verse 8, Wa Parashwa Al Yaham Bagad Thawalaith Shanya Wa Kaswa Athwa Ba Makasa Iwad Dakaash Wa Shamawa Watha or Washamwa, Ath Badyawa, verse 9. Wala Kwakwa, Batazad, Da Kalath, Wa Kaswa, Ath Manarath, Ha Ma'awath, Wa'ath Ma Lakwakia, Wa'ath Ma Kathaya, Wa'ath Kal Kaya, Shamanha, Ashar, Yasharathwa, Laha, Nahum, Wanathanwa, Atha, Wa'ath Kal Kayaha, All Ma Kasa, I wore, Takash, Wanathanwa, Al Hamawat, verse 11, Wa'al Mazabak, Hazahab, Yaparashwa, Bagad, Dakalath, Wa Kaswa, Athwa, Ba Makasa, I wore, Thakaash, Takash, Washamwa, Ath Badya, Ath Badyawa. All right, that was verse 11. Now in the English, verse 2. Take the sum of those of Kohath from among the sons of Levi after their families. Kohath in the English is, or in the Hebrew is, Kohath. It's pretty much the same. Kohath is, in the English, is Kohath, from among the sons of Levi, after their families, by the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even until 50 years old, all that enter all that enter into the host to do the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. 30 years old. All right, so the priests were set up to do all the work in the tabernacle, right, in the congregation. You know what I mean? Like everybody couldn't, like what you see, what the ISUPK does, right? Like when we do the Sabbath service, right? There's a reason why everybody can't just come onto the it's technically called a pulpit too, but we don't call it that, obviously. But onto the stage, like if you in a zone where you got a physical school in your zone, ISUPK school in your zone, there's a stage that's set up. It's a platform, it's got the table, you know what I'm saying, all these ornaments, and there's a place for the priest to sit. Everybody can't just come up on that podium. Why? Because this is the work of a priest. You get what I'm saying? And it's the same way for us now as it was back then. The only thing that changed is who's allowed to be a priest. It's the only thing that's different is who's allowed to be a priest. Back then, only Levites were the priesthood. Now, under the order of Melchizedek, you can be a priest if you devote yourself to that position. Like even Christ said, if you, or was it Christ? I think it was Paul actually. Anyway, when it says if you want to be a bishop, this is what you got to do. Right? You want to be a deacon, this is what you got to do. These are terms that, of course, the Christian church stole and they use in their church and totally bastardized the. Even the term priest has somewhat become bastardized, and it's only because of the ISUPK that being a priest is still something glorious. Because being a priest, if you leave it to these other religious groups, that term being a priest is damn near disgusting. Like who really wants to be a priest because of these religions? Nobody. Who wants to be a bishop? The bishop is on the child predator list. The deacon is right along with him. The deacon is trying to grope on your woman or your child or whatever. You understand? Who wants to be that? Like having those titles, to me, when I think of a bishop and a deacon, I don't think of them as someone glorious. I don't think of them as a man of God. I think of them as predators. And like the scriptures say, wolves in sheep's clothing. You think that they nice because they dress a certain type of way, they shave and cut their beards up and get tape ups and stuff. You think that they're a good person because that's what the perception is. Hey, shalom, sis. Nazama. Yahashimar Tabashim Yashad. You know what I'm saying? That's what the perception of them is, but deep down, underneath that clothing, underneath their appearance, what are they doing? You understand? So that term is kind of bastardized. But if you want to be a priest, if you want to be a bishop, there's a certain role you got to play, and that's how you become that. You understand? So that's the only thing that changed. Other than that, what we do is the same. You can't just do this anywhere. It's not something you can just do anywhere. You just pick up a Bible, put on a damn potato sack, and go and teach the Bible. You can't just do that. There's an order. And you're out of order if you do that. You understand? You can't just set up a table and do a Sabbath service. You're not a priest. You haven't been given the authority to do that. You understand? So there's a priesthood, and it's set up through the Most High, and the Most High uses the ISUPK to do that. So like I was saying, right? So there, from 30 years old and upward, even until 50 years old, all that enter into the host to do the work of the tabernacle, in the tabernacle of the congregation. This shall be the service of the sons of, let me get that word in Hebrew, Kohath, but in Hebrew it's, oh yeah, damn, I'm tripping. I said it already. Kohath, right? Kohath, in the tabernacle of the congregation, but about the most holy things. About the most holy things. Okay. And when the camp setteth for, Aaron shall come and his sons, and they shall take down the covering, the covering veil, and cover the ark of testimony with it, and shall be thereon the covering of the badger skin, and shall spread over it a cloth wholly of blue, and shall put this and shall put in the staves thereof. And I see a lot of Christian church trying to imitate this too. They bring out that communion wine. It's not even wine, it's actually grape juice, and then them little wafers, and that's supposed to be their unleavened bread or something like that. And then but they got the cloth, they bring out the cloth and they put it over this table thing. And it's supposed to be like the ark of the ark of what they call it, the ark of testimony. So when you go and give your testimony, you go and sit at that table, like not sit at the table, but you stand by that table, or you kneel to it or whatever. But yeah, they put this cloth over it, and then they serve you. They put the it's so ridiculous what they do, man. But they put the grape juice and the little wafers on that table, and they serve it to you. You understand? And they act like it's so sacred, but yet again, like it's all an act, because all of them are evil in a way that they're not doing what the Lord says to do. They're not doing what the Most High commands them, but they're doing what the Bible describes in a way, in their own way. You know what I mean? Anyway, kind of go off on a tangent with it, but these are traditions that we would keep, except we don't have a tabernacle. We don't have a temple. You understand? We don't have an official temple like what Christ set up, what David set up. You know what I mean? We don't have that. So that church is not that. And everything, you wonder why nothing holy is happening inside that building, is because the Lord is not in that building. The Lord ain't with that building. He's not. Now what we do, we set up schools. We set up schools, man. And these schools are little sanctuaries. You come into this school and you show that you want to serve the Most High, and we will show you how to do it. And every time we do that, one by one, if we just get one, if one Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian comes in and says, I want to serve the Lord, how do I do that? We're building the kingdom of heaven. We're not just sitting around talking about it. We're not just sitting around dreaming about it, acting out the Jesus in the manger every December. You understand? We're not doing that. You understand? We're doing what the Lord requires us to do. We're going out to camp, waking up our people, bringing them into this fold, changing their lives so that they can serve the Lord. You understand? That's what a school does. It teaches. So that's what we do. Let's read on. Verse 8. And they shall spread open them a cloth of scarlet, and cover the same with a covering of badger skin, and shall put in the staves thereof. A stave, like when it's saying staves, it's talking about multiple staves, right? Like a staff, like a stick, it's a staff. All right. So, and they shall take the cloth of blue, and cover this candlestick of the light, and his lamps, and his tongues, and his snuff dishes, and all the oil vessels thereof, wherewith they minister unto it. And they shall put it and all the vessels thereof within a covering of badger skins, and shall put it upon a bar. And upon the golden altar they shall spread a cloth of blue, and cover it with a covering of badger skins, and shall put to the staves thereof. Listen, I wish I knew what this was like. I wish I knew what this was like. You understand? I wish we had a tabernacle where this was done. It's nothing really, probably ain't even nothing really special, but what would be special about it is because the Lord commanded it. And we have a place to do it. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, we just living in hell right now. We don't have a temple. We don't have a tabernacle. We don't have the order that Christ gave, or it's like that the Most High gave to Moses to do this. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a beautiful day when we get back to doing this, and we got badger skins and scarlet sheets and blue and all that stuff, and we can just throw it over these furnitures like, spread that out. This is holy. This is set apart. Y'all doing all that foolishness, man. That's not what we on. This is real. You understand? But it's just not at that moment right now. You know what I mean? This is what we praying for. This is what we fighting for. All right, boom. Verse 15. And when Aaron and his sons have made an end of covering the sanctuary and all the vessels of the sanctuary, as the camp is to set forward. Let me stop. Oh, I'm tripping. I'm reading way too much. Let me read verse 12 in the Hebrew, and then we'll pick back up at 15. Book of Numbers, chapter 4, verse 12. Hold on. The book of Numbers, chapter 4, verse 12. While the Kwakwa call Yah Ha Sharath Ashar Yah Sharathwa Bama Bakwadash Wa Nathanwa All Bagad Tha Kalath Wa Kaswa Watham Ba Makasa Awar Takash Wa Nathanwa Al Ha Mawath, verse 13. Wa Da Shanwa Ath Ha Mazabak Wa Parashwa Al Yawa Bagad Aragaman, verse 14, Wa Nathanwa, Al Yawa, Ath Kal Yawa, Ashar, Yasharathwa, Al Yawa, Baham, Ath, Ha Makatha, Ath, Ha Mazalagath, Wa'ath, Hayayim, Wa'ath, Ha Mazaraquath, Kal, Kaya, Ha Mazabak, Wa Parashwa, Al Yawa, Kaswaya, Aywar, Dakash, Wa Shamwa, Badiwa, verse 15, Wa Kalha, Aharan, Wa Banyuwa, Lakasath, Ath, Ha Kodash, Wa Ath, Kal Kaya, Ha Kodash, Banasai, Ha Makanha, Wa Akaran, it's like Wa Akarya, Kan Yabawa, Yabawa, Bunya, Kwahath, La Sha'ath, Wala'a, Ya Ga'aiwa, All Hakodash, Wa Mathwa, all her, Masha, Banya, Kwahath, Ba Ahal, Mawa'ai, verse 16, Wa Pakwadath, Alaizar, Ban Aharan, Ha Kahan, Shaman, Ha Ma'awar, Wa Kwatarath, Hasamayam, Wama Nakath, Hatham Yad, Wa Shaman, Ha Mashakha, Pa Kwadath, Call, Ha Mashakan, Wa Call, Ashar, Bawab, Ba Kwadash, Wa Bakal Yawa, Wa Yadabar, so like Yahweh, all Masha, Wa all Aharon, La'amar, verse 18, all Thakariyah, Wa Ath, Shabbath, Ma Shapak, the Ha Kohathia, Mathawak, Ha Layam, verse 19, Wa Za'ath Aishawa, Laham, Wakayawa, Wala'a, Yamathwa, Bagash, Thum, Ath, Kodash, Ha Kodashim, Ahran, Wa Banyuwa, Yaba'awa, Wa Shamwa, Awatham, Ayash, Al Ibadathwa, Wa all Masha'awa, verse 20, Wala'a, Yaba'awa, Lara'awath, Kabala'ai, Ath, Hakodash, Wa Mathwa, verse 21, Wa Yadabar, Yahweh, all Masha, La'amar, in the English. Verse 15, and when Aaron and his sons have made an end of covering the sanctuary and all the vessels of the sanctuary, as the camp is to set forward, after the sons of Kohath shall come to bear it, but they shall not touch any holy thing, lest they die. See what I'm saying? Touching those things, man, you might die. You know what I mean? These things are the burden of the sons of Kohath in the tabernacles of the congregation. So there's literally one family that could touch, certain things in the temple. You know what I'm saying? At this time. That's because that's what their job was. They were set over doing that task. And that's how the Lord works. That's how the Lord set it up. It's a department. You know what I mean? If you're in the UPK, you're a priest, even if you're a trooper in the UPK, you know about departments. You understand? And everybody has their departments. And as long as we run those departments, that's how, the kingdom works. As long as we run them, that's how the kingdom runs. You understand? So that's what their department was. The Kohathites, their job was to deal with those holy things. You understand? If anybody else dealt with them, they would die. Verse 16, into the office of Allah Izar. Let me see. Hold on. 16. Allah Izar, right? Son of Aharon, the priest, pertaineth the oil for the light, and the sweet incense, and the daily meat offering, and the anointing. And the anointing oil, and the oversight of all the tabernacle, and of all of all that therein is, in the sanctuary, and in the vessels thereof. All right, verse 17. And the Most High spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, verse 18, cut ye not off the tribe of the families of the Kohathites from among the Levites. Verse 19, but thus do unto them, that they may live and not die. When they approach unto the most holy things, Aaron and his sons shall go in, and appoint them every one to his service and to his burden. You know what I'm saying? It was Aaron going in there telling them what their duties are, what their departments are. Here's your department right here. This is what you deal with. What your duties are, your burdens. You know what I mean? But they shall not go in to see when the holy things are covered, lest they die. All right, verse 21. And the Lord spake again. Okay, so and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, so let's go back to the Hebrew once again. Verse 22 in the Hebrew. Nasha Athab Ra'ash Banya Garashwan Gum Ham Labayath Abatham La Mashapatham Kamashim Shana Ta Paquad Awatham Call Haba'a La Taza Ba'a Taza Bath, so like Taza Ba'a La Ibad Ibada Ba'ahol Mawa'ad Za'atha Aibadath Mashapakta Ha Garashanya La Ibad Wa La Mash Wa La Masha'a. Verse 25, Wana Sha'awa Ath Yara Ya'aith Ha Mashakan Wa Atha Ahal Mawa'id Ma Kasa'awa Wa Ma Kasa'a Ta Miha Ta Kash Ashar Alyawa Mala Ayla Wa'ath Masak Pathak Ahal Mawa'id Wa'ath Kuala Aya Ha Katazar Wa'ath Masak Pathak Sha'ira Ha Katazar Ashar Al Ha Mashakan Wa'al Ha Mazbak Sabayab Wa'ata Maya Tharyaham Wa'ath Kal Kaya Ibadathma
Wa'ath call Ashar Ya'isha Laham Wa'ibadwa. Verse 27. Al Paya Aharon Wa Banyawa Da Haya call Ibadath Banya Hagarashanya Lakal Ma Sha'ama Wa Lakal Ibadathma Wa Pakwatham Ilaham Ba Mashamarath Wa Ba Mashamartha I call Ma Sha'am 28 Za'ath Ibadath Ma Shapaka Banyab Ha Garashanya Ba Ahol Mawa'id Wa Masha Mara Thum Bayad Ayathamar Ban Aharon Ha Kahan Banya Mararaya Da Mashapak Thum La Bayath Abathum Da Paquad Athum. Verse 30. Mabun Shalashim Shana Wa Ma'ilha Wa'id Bun Kamashim Shana Da Paquadam Call Haba'a La Tazaba'a La Ibad Atha Ibadath Ahol Mawa'id. All right. Now in the English, verse 22. Well, I'm gonna start verse 21. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, take also the sum of the sons of Gershon throughout the houses of their fathers by their families. Verse 23. From 30 years old and upward until 50 years old shalt thou number them, all that enter in to perform the service, to do the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. This is the service of the families of the Gershonites, to serve and for burdens. And they shall bear the curtains of the tabernacle, and the tabernacle of the congregation, his covering, and the covering of the badger skins that is above upon it, and the hanging of the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Verse 26. And the hanging of the and the hangings of the court, and the hanging of the door of the gate of the court, which is by the tabernacle and by the altar round about, and their cords, and all the instruments of their service, and all that is made for them, so shall they serve. Verse 27. At the appointment of Aaron and his sons shall be all the service of the sons of the Gershonites, in all their burdens, and in all their service. And ye shall appoint unto them in a charge all their burdens. This is the service of the families of the sons of Gershon in the tabernacle of the congregation, and their charge shall be under the hand of Ithamar. What is that word? Let me see. Ithamar. Ayathamar. Okay. The son of Aaron, the priest. Verse 29. As for the sons of Merari, thou shalt number them after their families, by the house of their fathers. Verse 30. From 30 years old and upward, even unto 50. Give me a second. Even unto 50 years old shalt thou number them, every one that entereth into the service, to do the work of the tabernacle of the congregation. All right, so everybody was given their duties, man. Everybody, of course, is gonna go. What we got next? Yeah, so everybody got duties from the Quahite, the Quahath, like it, Quahath, yeah, from the Quahathites to, you know what I'm saying, everybody, all the Levites, they got duties, you know what I'm saying. If you 30 to 50 years old, you got a duty. You know what I mean? It wasn't even a choice. Like, it wasn't like, yeah, you want to be a priest? Come on. Oh, you don't want to be a priest? Okay, no sweat. We'll get another. No, if you 30 to 50 years old, this was your duty. You know what I'm saying? If you are of this family, you between the ages of 30 and 50, this is what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because that was what the Lord ordered. And it was only that tribe, right? It was only Levi. So everybody else had their own things. You know what I'm saying? You had brothers, you know what I'm saying, of different tribes like Judah, Benjamin, Ephraim, Manasseh. You had all them, they did other things. You know what I'm saying? You had men that were blacksmiths and you know, swordsmen. You know what I'm saying? You had men that would fight, like, you know what I'm saying, like watchmen. You had cropsmen, farmers, you know, husbandmen. You know what I mean? You had all type of other things to do. There was other things to do, but this tribe was set to do something else. They were set to do the work of the Lord. And it's the same way today, man. Like, now it's more so of a choice. Like, if you decide that you want to take that oath and become a priest, then this is going to be your job. But you don't have to. So if you don't become that, then you can go and be a herdsman. You can go and be a husbandman. You can go and be a blacksmith. You can go and, you know, work whatever job, you know what I'm saying, or create whatever business for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just pay your tithes. Pay your tithes. Whatever increase you get, bring to the priest. Because this is their job. Their job is to be over all the holy things. You understand? Their job is to be over all the services of God. You understand? If you don't know, there's no paycheck for that. There's no paycheck for it. You understand? You're doing it because you chose to do it, and because the Lord needs you to do it. The Lord requires you to do it. That's it. There's nothing more to it than that. You're not doing it for payment. Doing it because this is the office that you decided to take. All right. So if you don't do it, if you don't take that oath, then go and get some money and bring that money into the priest. All right. So that being said, man, that concludes the Sabbath service. Like Sha'Allah. I imagine upon Yahweh, so we stand and turn and face the east. We're going to send up the prayers, first in the Hebrew, then in the English. Repeat after me. The Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shamaya, Kodash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratiza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamaya, Nathananawa, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaklanawa, Kawawathnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawawathyanawa, Wala'a, Tabaya'anawa, Banasai 1, Abal, Hawashinawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwat, Waha'ala, Wahataparath, La'aiwalamyam, Aman. In the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hakak the power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Babu Kushah, the thunder now. Hakak, Hakak, La Rapa'at, Call Makala, will call Madawa, Hakak, La Tahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, La Hakwayim, Hamathim, Hakak, Our Kawath, Ha Tama'ala, La Garashan, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, the water Aman. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it. Blessings. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shah. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Matazab Ya'ah. Alawap Yahan. Ha Alawapim. Ha Saranyim. Ha Kwatazayanyim. Ha Kayayoyim. Wa Ha Kwatim. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. The water Aman. In the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yohanan, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it. Psalms chapter 121. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahaharyim, Mayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'arataza, All Yathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, All Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ayakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Ra, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar Taza Atka, Waba Wa'aka, Ma'aitha, Wa'aid, Iwalam. In the English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forward, and even forevermore. Psalms chapter 83. Alahayim, all the Mayalaka, all Takarash, wa all Tashakwat, all Kayahana, Awayabika, Yahamayawan, I'll give it to you in a second, SOT. Salaya. Our Yabuka, Yahama Yawan, Wamasha Nayaka, Nashaawa, Ra'ash, Al Imaka, Yara Yamwa, Sawad, Wa Yata Ya I to the Wa, Al to the Pawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakidum, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwad, Kaya, Nawa I Tazawa, La, Yakadwa, Alyaka, Baryath, Yakaratwa, Ahoya, Arawam, Wayashamai Alayam, Mawaaba, Wahagaryam, Gabal, Wa I'm a one, Wa I'm a luck, Palashath, I'm Yashabian, Tazawar, Gum Ashawar, Nalawa, I'm Mum, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labunya Lawat, Salah, Aisha Laham, Kamadian, Kasaya Sara'a, Kayabian, Banakal, Koyashwan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayanda Arab, Hayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shayathumwa, Nadiyamawa, Kairab, Wakazaaba, Wakazabak, Wakatazalmanai, Kal Nasiyakumwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Na Yarasha, La Nawa, Ath, Na'awath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayathumwa, Kogala, Kakwash, Lapanya Raka, Ka'ash, Daba'ira Yaira, Wa Kalahaba, Dalahat, Haryam, Khan, Daradabma, Basairaka, Wa Basawapatka, Dabahalam, Mala'a, Punyaham, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabahawa, Ad, Wayakaparwa, Wayabadwa, Wayadaiwa, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Al Yawan, Al Kal Arataza. In the English, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot, Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a Reb and like Zeeb. Yea, all their princes, as Zabah and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the mountains, and as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. Yajimatah, Sar, hands down, turn. Sisters can be seated. Start again. Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute. If Israel, Imam Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatham. Yajimatah, hands down. Sisters can stand. Men of Israel, turn and face the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters in the class. Imam Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Lathan Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Yajimatah, hands down. That concludes the Sabbath service. Clap it up. All right. SOT officer, your thumb. We are, listen, if you're looking for the ISUPK in Louisiana, we are in Shreveport, we are in Monroe, we are in New Orleans. You understand? You will find us holding camp downtown New Orleans off of Canal, as well as in Shreveport. I gotta get the exact street. I forget the name of the street where we hold camp. But we are in Shreveport and we are holding camp regularly in New Orleans. You understand? We also in Monroe as well. So wherever you at, you know what I mean? If you near those areas, definitely get in touch with us. Even if you're not in those areas, you know what I'm saying? We do teach classes every day. You know what I'm saying? Probably the only day we don't teach classes on YouTube is Sunday. So you can find us right here on this platform. Follow us on our social medias, you know what I'm saying? Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, ISUPK Louisiana. All right. The brother said, you know, I'm in Baton Rouge. Cool. Listen, brother, you know what I'm saying? Get up in these ranks. Let's build a school in Baton Rouge. Let's build a school in Baton Rouge, man. You know what I'm saying? I know there's brothers out there that need to hear the truth. I know there's brothers out there that need to be woken up. I know how tough it is and rough it is growing up in Baton Rouge. You know what I'm saying? Just as bad as it is growing up in Monroe, just as bad as it is growing up in Shreveport, just as bad as it is growing up as a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man anywhere in the world. You understand? So let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this work. All right, with that, man, we're going to play some of these videos. Shalom, everybody. The water for tuning in. The water for y'all tuning in, man. We appreciate y'all watching. If you like this content, make sure you leave a thumbs up in this video to let us know. And listen, man, while you at it, if you like seeing content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We answering all your questions, like why did God allow Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to go into slavery? Or why are Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the #1 people mistreated because of their race? Or even, how could God let innocent people die? Well, we answer all that. Questions that your Christian pastor would never answer. And we get it straight out the Bible, man. It's been right in front of our face for thousands of years. We're going to give you the truth, man, because the ISUPK is the home of the truth. So look, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to get notified every time we drop a video. Check this out, too. Hit this QR code right here. It's going to get you everything you need to contact the ISUPK near you. All right? Shalom.
Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs no matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, aka Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth, and he would be to Aaron instead of a God. That's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need, because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.